Let's set the scene. The 2024 edition of the ATP 500 in Rio de Janeiro is in full swing. Argentine powerhouse Sebastián Baez just demolished Frenchman Alexander Muller to defend his title like an absolute boss. But was that the biggest story of the tournament? Hell no. Instead, the tennis world found itself revisiting last year's juicy scandal. One that involved data leaks, government screw-ups, and an unexpected celebrity phone number going public. Enter Brazilian journalist Dmitrio Veccholi, the accidental whistleblower of the year. While digging around for information, Veccholi stumbled upon something way bigger than just match statistics or post-game interviews. Thanks to what can only be described as a catastrophic failure in the official government platform, he gained access to a treasure trove of ultra-sensitive player data from the previous year's tournament. We're talking passports, phone numbers, and other personal info that should have been locked away like the nuclear codes. Among the unfortunate victims? Carlos freaking Alcaraz. Yes, the young Spanish tennis prodigy suddenly found himself in the middle of a privacy nightmare, all because of one careless fumble on the government's end. Veccholi, realizing he had just opened Pandora's box, did what any responsible journalist would do. He went straight to the source. Instead of, keeping the info under wraps and alerting authorities, he actually sent a direct message to Alcaraz himself to let him know that his personal details were basically up for grabs on the dark web. Now, imagine being Carlos in that moment. You're chilling, maybe enjoying a smoothie after practice, and boom! A random journalist slides into your DMs telling you that your private number is out in the wild. Did he panic? Did he throw his phone into the ocean and vow to live off the grid? We don't know. His response remains a mystery, and no one's quite sure what steps he took to secure his digital life afterward. But let's be honest, he probably had to switch numbers faster than a politician dodging a scandal. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Data leaks aren't just a minor inconvenience, they're a freaking nightmare for athletes. Exposing their private info to the public doesn't just invite spam calls from crazy fans. It opens the door to hacks, security risks, and possibly stalkers. In an era where technology moves faster than Novak Djokovic returning a serve, privacy violations like this can have real-life consequences. But did this whole fiasco shake Alcaraz's focus? Hell no. The Spanish star is already back on his grind, laser-focused on his US tour, where he's gearing up to defend his title at Indian Wells. Currently sitting 3,820 points behind Jannik Sinner, who conveniently happens to be serving a 3-month suspension. Talk about lucky timing. Alcaraz has a golden opportunity to close the gap in the ATP rankings. And he's not just eyeing one title, he's chasing the legendary Sunshine Double, an elite flex that requires winning both Indian Wells and Miami in the same season. Only a handful of all-time greats, *** Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Andre Agassi, and a few others, *** have pulled off this feat. If Alcaraz pulls it off, he's officially in tennis god territory. Meanwhile, the phone number drama seems to be in the rearview mirror, but it raises an important question. Are sports organizations doing enough to protect the privacy of their players? Given that a journalist was able to stumble across this data by accident, it's safe to say security measures need a serious upgrade. But before we wrap this up, let's talk about one last spicy topic: Alcaraz's latest controversial decision. After his solid run in Rotterdam, where he snagged a title, things went south in Doha, where he unexpectedly crashed out against Jiri Lehecka, a tournament he was heavily favored to win. Now, with Indian Wells and Miami just around the corner, many expected him to take a breather, recharge, and go all in for the Masters 1000 double. Instead, Alcaraz raised eyebrows when he decided to squeeze in an exhibition match against Francis Tiafoe in Puerto Rico on March 2nd. Just a few days later, he'll be flying straight to California to defend his title at Indian Wells. Some fans and analysts are questioning whether playing a meaningless exhibition right before a high-stakes tournament is a dumb move. Others argue that Alcaraz is just getting in extra match practice while collecting a fat paycheck, because let's be real, those exhibitions pay big money. Either way, the drama never stops when it comes to Carlos Alcaraz. One day it's a phone number leak, The next it's a debate about scheduling decisions. Whatever happens, one thing's for sure, the tennis world will be watching. What do you think? Should tennis organizations step up their security game to prevent leaks like this? And do you believe Alcaraz made the right call with his exhibition match, or is he risking unnecessary exhaustion before Indian Wells? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear what you have to say. Carlos Alcaraz has never been one to bite his tongue, and when it comes to the brutal, never-ending grind of the ATP calendar, he's been one of its loudest critics. The Spanish phenom has repeatedly complained that the scheduling is downright murderous, giving players little to no time to breathe between tournaments. "They're killing us," Alcaraz vented last season, echoing the frustrations of many top players who feel like they're constantly on the verge of burnout. His argument? If you want high-level tennis, you can't have a calendar that feels like an Ironman competition with no finish line. But hold up, before you start feeling too sorry for him, ATP President Andrea Gaudenzi wasn't about to let Carlitos off the hook that easily. He essentially threw the "bruh, are you serious?" card right back at Alcaraz, pointing out that if you're so exhausted, maybe don't spend your rest periods flying around the world playing exhibition matches instead of, actually resting. And honestly, he's got a point. On one hand, Alcaraz is capitalizing on his skyrocketing fame, building his brand, thrilling fans, and making some extra cash by playing in high-profile exhibition events. Tennis is a short career, and let's be real, if someone's throwing a fat paycheck at you to hit a few balls and smile for the cameras, it's hard to say no. On the other hand, those extra matches could come back to bite him in the ass. With a crucial month ahead, where he desperately needs to claw back points to close the gap on Jannik Sinner in the ATP rankings, overloading his schedule could leave him drained before the real battles begin. So what's it gonna be, Carlitos? Tennis rockstar or ATP warhorse? That's the dilemma. Alcaraz's new secret weapon. A serve that finally matches his insane game. While the ATP calendar debate rages on, Alcaraz has been quietly cooking up something lethal. And no, it's not another unreal passing shot from the baseline. This time, it's his serve that's getting all the hype. For years, if there was one chink in his armor, it was his serve. While the dude moves like a cheetah on Red Bull and hits like a wrecking ball, his serve wasn't exactly striking fear into the hearts of opponents. Sure, it was solid, but compared to the monsters of the game like Djokovic, Federer, or even Medvedev, it lacked that extra oomph. Not anymore. At the 2024 Australian Open, Alcaraz stunned everyone by debuting a revamped, nastier, and far more effective serve. One that suddenly started racking up aces and giving him free points like never before. And this wasn't just some random fluke. Experts were quick to take notice, including Patrick Mouratoglou, the legendary coach who helped Serena Williams dominate the WTA and has trained countless elite players. Speaking to Eurosport, Mouratoglou practically gushed about Alcaraz's new and improved cannonball delivery, calling it a game-changer for his already terrifying arsenal. So what's different? Here's the breakdown, straight from the master himself. Small blue diamond, less tension, more power. Alcaraz has figured out how to ditch unnecessary tension in his body, making his motion more relaxed and explosive. Less effort, more speed. That's efficiency, baby. Small blue diamond, better leg and arm extension. The dude looks way more flexible when he serves now, which means he's generating more force with smoother mechanics. Instead of muscling the ball in, he's flowing into it effortlessly, and the results are scary. Small blue diamond fluidity equals raw power. According to Mouratoglou, the secret to hitting a massive serve isn't just brute strength, it's fluid motion. And Alcaraz has finally unlocked that sweet spot, making his serve faster, more accurate, and way more dangerous. For a guy who already destroys opponents from the baseline and covers the court like he's got turbo boosters, adding a huge serve to his game is just unfair. Tennis needed another Alcaraz upgrade like fish need bicycles, but here we are. Now, with Indian Wells and Miami coming up, we're about to see if this new weapon gives him the edge he needs to take on Sinner, Djokovic, and the rest of the pack. One thing's for sure, the kid isn't done evolving, And that should scare the absolute hell out of the ATP Tour. What do you think? Should Alcaraz prioritize actual rest instead of exhibitions? And how big of an impact will his new serve have on his game moving forward? Drop your thoughts below. If you thought Carlos Alcaraz was already a nightmare to play against, buckle up, because he just made things even worse for his opponents. For years, his game was built on relentless aggression, speed, and an insane ability to chase down balls like a freaking greyhound on steroids. But now he's packing a new and improved serve, one that not only packs more heat but is also damn near unreadable. This means that instead of grinding out every point like a human highlight reel, he can now finish off rallies in the blink of an eye, conserving his energy for when it really matters. And let's be honest, the dude already moves like a ninja. If he gets free points off his serve, the ATP might need to start issuing emergency survival kits to his opponents. The perfect timing. Just when he needed it most. This massive boost in his service game comes at a crucial moment. After crashing out in the quarterfinals of Doha against Jiri Lehecka, Alcaraz left the tournament with his head held high, insisting that he felt better than ever about his level. "I leave Doha with my head up, more confident, and really happy with what I did here," said the Spanish superstar. And honestly, he's got every reason to feel that way. His next challenge? Indian Wells. And it's not just any tournament. It's one of the biggest stops on the ATP Tour, a Masters 1000 that separates the men from the boys. Alcaraz knows that from March 5th to 16th, he'll have to bring his absolute best if he wants to defend his title and remind the world why he's still one of the most dangerous players on the circuit. That's where his new beast of a serve could be the ultimate game changer. If he can keep his consistency high and keep firing those missiles, he'll have a serious edge, especially on hard courts, where serving well is practically a cheat code. How this serve could change everything. Let's get one thing straight, this isn't just a minor tweak to his game. This could be the start of a full-blown evolution. The guy is only 20 years old, which means he's nowhere near his ceiling yet. His athleticism and shot-making are already out of this world, but if he locks in a deadly serve on top of that, good luck to the rest of the tour. Here's why this is a massive deal. Small blue diamond, less grinding, more winning. A more effective serve means fewer exhausting rallies, which keeps him fresher for the long haul. No more spending every match running around like a lunatic just to win a single point. Small blue diamond, more confidence under pressure. The biggest names in tennis history, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, all refined their games as they aged, adjusting their weapons to ensure they stayed at the top for years. If Alcaraz can turn his serve into a reliable weapon, it will make him even more dangerous in high-stakes moments. Small blue diamond, the key to future dominance. If this serve keeps improving, we're looking at a future where Alcaraz can dictate points from the very first shot, making him almost impossible to break. Imagine him rolling into Grand Slam finals, effortlessly holding serve, and leaving his opponents in a state of existential crisis. But here's the big question. Is this enough to take him to the top of the ATP rankings? There's no doubt that he already has the talent and consistency to compete with the best, but the real test will come when he's under the gun. Finals, big matches, moments where champions are made. If he can bring this new and improved serve to the big stages, we might be witnessing the rise of an unstoppable force in men's tennis. What do you think? Will this serve upgrade make Alcaraz absolutely untouchable, or does he still have some areas to improve? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, subscribe to Tennis Zone, hit that notification bell, and smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. See you next time for more tennis madness.